From CNBC, Hyatt chairman Pritzker leaves board over Epstein ties. Big news from CNBC. They say Pritzker will leave his post as the hotel chain's executive chairman, a role he's held for more than 2 decades. Immediately, he said in a statement released by the Pritzker organization, the 75-year-old billionaire Hyatt heir said he would not seek re-election to the board at the annual stockholder meeting. My job and responsibility is to provide good stewardship. That is something to me. Good stewardship includes ensuring a proper transition at Hyatt. Pritzker said he has regret over his connection to Epstein and his accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell. So we know about what Epstein did, the claims. We also know that the media covered it all up, lied about it, suppressed the story, pretended like it wasn't happening, and called us all crazy for suggesting that it was true. Recently released files show Pritzker and Epstein exchanged friendly emails after the disgraced financier's plea deal. Being part of the release of thousands of documents and photos does not imply any wrongdoing. Thanks for pointing that out, CNBC. Why did you need to say that? See, here's the truth. These powerful individuals were flying around on a plane with underage girls who were supposedly masseuses, but they were actually doing other things. And we've got numerous victims who, and it's funny because there are a lot of Trump supporters that have come out being like, this woman claimed that she never did anything untoward, but now she's claiming she did. And I'm like, yes, is it possible that in 2015, these women didn't want to admit that they were child prostitutes? And now that Epstein's been uncovered and exposed, they're saying, actually, those claims are all true, and I'm now going to admit it. So I think it's fair to say, certainly, call into question some of the statements. Maybe there's some women trying to cash in on being a victim or whatever. But just read the emails and look at the conviction. He took a sweetheart plea deal because Epstein was bringing on underage girls to his plane and to his island as masseuses, and they were hookers. Basically, they were child prostitutes being brought in. So I love how every step of the way, the media has tried to protect these individuals. And I'm not going to cut Trump any slack because Trump was like, oh, it's a hoax. It's a hoax. Now we're reading these emails and we're going like, oh, my. We got a great sponsor for you. It is Cove Pure. Man, good, clean water. That's what I'm talking about. It's the new year, my friends. You got to get healthy. Holidays are brutal. Desserts, late night, skipped workouts. But now that we're in the new year, it's time to reset. Let's get a New Year's resolution going, one that actually works and gives your body what it needs. It's a perfect time for Cove Pure. Here's the thing. Everyone jumps in the new year buying new supplements, trying new diet or workouts, but they completely ignore the most important basic thing, water. Even mild dehydration impacts energy, focus, and metabolism. And one thing I found is that when I'm feeling sluggish, I'm wondering, did I not get vitamins? It's literally just water. It's usually water. I'll drink a cup of water, and then I feel great. Cove Pure changes this. When you think about all the garbage in the water, you're starting behind the curve before you even begin. Cove Pure changes that. Their clear wave technology is certified to remove up to 99.9% of contaminants. Pretty much anything that isn't water, PFAs, microplastics, pharmaceutical residue, fluoride, all gets removed. It's the purest water you can get. Lets you choose the temperature of your water, hot, cold, or warm. It has size presets, making it easy to remember to drink enough water. It makes your water taste so good. Easy setup, no installation needed, perfect for renters, and it looks super sleek and nice. Cove Pure makes it easy to get pure water with the push of a button. So this year, make a New Year's resolution that sticks. Improve your health with clean water. Right now, you can get $200 off for a limited time if you use my link, covepure.com/Tim. That's COVEPURE.com/Tim to start the new year right. We got one of these things. They're really awesome. I'm a big fan. There's videos. Alex, did you notice there are videos of children bathing that in the Epstein files?
Yep.
And they said, they were like, well, it's uncorroborated. Yeah, it's really weird that Epstein had children come to his island and there's videos of underage kids. They censored the videos, mind you. But there's a lot of, I would describe it as massive piles upon piles of circumstantial evidence, which makes me wonder what hard evidence they're retracting. There was one email that I showed on Twitter where Epstein emailed somebody, we don't know who because they redacted it, and he simply said the word pizza. And I'm sorry, I just have questions about why they redacted the email of a person simply because he said pizza to him. Now listen, I'm not going to sit here and say, I know exactly the intent of that email. I don't. But when you redact the recipient's email, then people start saying, why?
Yep.
What about that? Now, I will stress, a lot of the Pizzagate stuff was, I believe, fake news. People were making, I say fake news in the playful sense, not like it was literally fake stories, but people were adding things to it that weren't true or were conjecture. But what is true is that CP is child abuse material. and it's referred to as cheese pizza. So when you have someone like Epstein, who is literally convicted of stuff like this, emailing people these terms, you kind of say, I think we know what the intention was in the redaction. But there's plenty more emails. I know that Alex, you've seen a bunch of it.
Well, you're kind of teasing me a little bit because we are talking about jerky, and just you look at the way that they use these emails. They're not talking like they're ordering pizza, like they're speaking in clearly coded language. So, I mean, it just looks like it's obvious that they're doing stuff to kids. We knew this. And then when you talk about the child porn, that's the one thing I think Pam Bondi's told the truth about, saying that there was a ton of child porn, and that's why it took so long for them to unredact them so we could see them. So, yes, if you think that, it's just bad that they were raping kids, I don't know if I should say that word, sorry. They were doing a lot worse with CP and trading that like a currency. It's disgusting, but we all know it's true.
Let's add an allegedly to that. One of my issues with
What's allegedly?
Everything he just said.
You don't think they're trading child CP? You don't think they're trading CP?
Who's they?
Like Epstein to...
Whoa, hold on. Pam Bondi said they were.
Yeah, Pam Bondi said that they had CP.
I think tons of it, and that's why they weren't going to release the files.
That's exactly what she said.
I think when it comes to the Epstein files, people are running fast and loose with the truth, and that's why people like CNBC feel the need to say that being part of the release of thousands of documents and photos does not imply any wrongdoing, because if you were even referenced in the files, it's a guilt by association, and it feels as though there's a witch hunt. Some would argue more deservedly so. Obviously, everybody who is accused or involved in any child abuse should be, charged and indicted and charged to the fullest extent of the law. But I feel like the threshold for that evidence has become lower and lower.
Elaad, let me
get. Wait. There's one more thing I want to add to that.
I play devil's advocate all the time. I'm just surprised that this is the topic that you would like to play devil's advocate on.
Bro, it's listen,
like very weird.
No, I want to be clear here,
bro. But my whole thing with Trump was the stop making me defend Trump, because they kept lying about him. I have no problem praising Trump. I voted for the guy twice. I want him to succeed. But come on, Trump screwed up. The DOJ screwed this up. The FBI screwed this up. They've done a miserable job on the release of the Epstein files. I will give them credit for releasing it now, but Pam Bondi at the hearing being like, the Dow is at 50,000. I was nice. A bunch of other people, and let me tell you, I know I can get 1 million views if I pound my fist on the table and scream, Pam Bondi, you did bad. But I'm trying to be nice because they are still releasing files. But it's when she comes out and she's like, the Dow is at 50,000, I was like, that's really great. Thank you. And now on to the other thing we care about, which... two things we can talk about, we can care about two different things.
Well, you do need to mention it dropped below 50,000 literally the next day.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I mean,
yeah, but the point is she's going like, we should be talking about the economy. It's my response to that. This is the problem. I'm gonna criticize Thomas Massie a little bit too, because I'm a big fan of the guy. He's my favorite member of Congress, but he's yelling at her saying we caught you red-handed. And I'm just like, listen, there was ample opportunity to respond to Pam Bondi and just be like, thank you, Secretary Bondi. Was she secretary, right? AG. I'm sorry, Attorney General Bondi. I appreciate that. It is fantastic work. Thank you. It is true. The economy right now has some great indicators. Now, anyway, we were talking about something specific because the people can be happy about the economy and upset about the Epstein trafficking stuff too.
I mean, I would hope that the DOJ has started at least investigations on these people, like the people that are accused. And because if they have the files that are non-redacted, right, they should be building cases to go and prosecute. That's kind of like where we're at now. It's like there's all kinds of talk about who is and isn't in the files and stuff. But it's like, look, the DOJ's job is to prosecute people for wrongdoing. So if they have the names, they should be building cases and they should be looking to arrest people.
Yeah, but it's really not that hard. I mean, you could look at Les Wexner. There's the guy that gave him the residence in New York. Like, if they don't charge him, which I know now they're saying they opened up an investigation, I don't think anybody's going to go to jail because he was basically his right-hand man, or Jeffrey was his right-hand man, if you want to use that analogy. And I think that he would have blood on his hands. So if he does not go down, if we don't perp walk at least Les Wexner, and this is all alleged, I don't want to get sued by him, but it looks like his connection to Epstein is indisputable. And
I do think there's a lot of insanity. There are people who are making the craziest claims imaginable based on the lightest of conjecture. A good example of what I'm trying to say is the easiest example that I've brought up several times. One of the Epstein files comes from a phone tip to the FBI. A woman claiming she was a victim of sex trafficking and she was 13 when she was trafficked, and she was on the island when Tony Hawk got married. The only issue is Tony Hawk didn't get married on the island. It seems to be a fabricated story to the FBI.
Did he go to the island at all?
No. No, like Tony Hawk is so far removed from Epstein, it's ludicrous. So what happened is there's an action sports photographer whose name is Mark Epstein, completely unrelated to Jeffrey. Jeffrey has a brother named Mark Epstein. And so when Tony Hawk got married in Fiji, Mark Epstein, the action sports photographer, was taking photos of it. This is Getty Images. And apparently this was on MTV at the time. Someone presumably saw this, assumed Mark Epstein, who took the photos, was related to Jeffrey, and then thought they could lie and claim Tony Hawk was there and the FBI would buy it. Something like that. And so now there are these articles flying around saying Tony Hawk caught with, underage trafficking victim. It's completely fake. And that I can respect when there was concerns about releasing all the files because there would be this kind of blowback on innocent people completely unrelated. Amy Schumer is in the files. So in the list of names that the DOJ dropped, Amy Schumer is one of them. Amy Schumer named in the Epstein files.
She probably would eat a kid, but I mean, that's just,
yeah, but that's more for eating disorder.
Yeah, she's just hungry. Yeah,
she's just hungry.
Well, I do think it's a little bit of a liability.
She did Ozempic though, didn't she?
For the president with Howard Lutnick, as far as he goes, Secretary of Commerce, I believe, because he denied, he said that he cut ties with Jeffrey Epstein, but then after he alleged to have cut ties, he visited Epstein Island again, allegedly.
With his family.
With his family. And this is after 2008 when he was convicted of a few different, I believe he was given a sweetheart deal in Florida, but it was well known after 2008, the 2008 conviction, that he was involved in these sort of crimes against children.
He had 700 employees die in 9/11, and he happened to not be at work that day.
What do you mean? Like, was he supposed to be?
He might have had prior knowledge.
Was he supposed to be?
Yeah, he had a company with 700 employees.
Yes, but that doesn't mean
he
he's
was there
supposed to be at
every
work.
day, just like Larry Silverstein.
Like
he showed up every day. Yeah.
Could you imagine if it was like a Sunday here? I'm not here, and then like the building burned down. Like, how strange! Tim wasn't at work that day. I'm like, well,
I'm just asking questions. I don't know. Did he get a text message from somebody saying these towers are going to go down? I don't know, but I do know that Condoleezza Rice and George Bush were both briefed that there's a guy in Afghanistan named Osama bin Laden that wanted to fly planes into buildings. But maybe he got that brief. I don't know, but he was not at work that day.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.